Alrighty then. Insert your favorite Tommy joke here. I'll have you know, my hands were not anywhere near the computer screen at that time. Can somebody pop back into the other feed and tell everybody that there is a new take 2? I am the Noise Opera. Good to see you, brother. Can you pop over to the other side and tell everybody there's a new feed so that they can jump into this? This is the only way I could try to save this, people. Don't know exactly what happened. It is what it is. Mark would be getting a laugh out of that. We were just talking yesterday about how that's an awful expression, but sometimes it is the only expression. Kind of sad. Badger. The internet's going out. Yeah. Yeah, well, that stinks. It really does. But give it 1 minute, and Seventh Son will come in and say something very funny because he's always good for the Tommy's fingers had something to do with that. I do have big hands. Good. Everybody's starting to flow back in. You know what, peeps? Sometimes this one wasn't even the cat. Sometimes this stuff just. My heart racing right now, like the 5th panic attack of the day. It's scary. Lewis, how many days have you been off the blow? If you could answer that one for me. Jackson, thank you so much, my brother. You know what? I love you too, Jackson. I really do. Jackson is, he is a brother. I got 2 likes tonight. Mark Welp, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I need it. Day 8 today. Okay, Lewis, you're going to start feeling a little bit of a level out at about day 14. And that's not me. That's medical professionals who say that. Sometimes best case scenario is to talk to a medical professional who can give you some things that are going to chill you out a little bit. And I don't mean anything narcotic. Very oftentimes what they'll do is... and I shouldn't say the name of the drug because I'm not a doctor and I'm not recommending that you go out and get it or anything else, but it's a blood pressure medication and they give it out routinely to people who are quitting cocaine. The reason being, we're all so damn susceptible that, I mean, in a perfect world, you know, the best substance for what you're going through is probably diazepam, right? Truthfully. But you'll get addicted to diazepam in a couple of days because that's who we are. Forget you, me. Like when I was, if I get off cocaine and they give me Valium to steady my nerves, I'll be addicted to Valium by the end of the week, right? Because that's how I was. There are other medications that they can give you that are just going to slow your heart rate down a little bit. So it's not so much that it's going to get you high or do anything else, but it's just going to level you out. Douglas D says, hi folks. Tough last couple of days, been on a bender. Well, you know what, man? You're here now, right? Douglas D, those days are behind you, and we can start to move forward. You're at the right place. And I don't mean me. I mean all the people that are surrounding you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people here that that care about people who just came off benders, probably more than the next crowd. So God bless you, and I'm happy that you're here, man. I really am. Yeah, see, Noise Opera. He nails it. And so did Jesse. Love it. You guys, this is my crew. Jesse says, Douglas, you are always welcome. The Noise Opera says you will make it through this, Douglas. Flamin' Jackson is there to love you. That is just the lifeboat in a nutshell. Love you guys. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Aloha. I've got a highly addictive personality. That's what scares me about getting pills from doctors. Okay, and I'm glad to hear you say that, right? But if you go in, and this goes for anybody, right? When you go in and you talk to a doctor and you when I say go seek medical advice when it comes to getting off of something, brutal honesty is the key, right? We're used to working doctors to try to get a little bit of extra something, right? We work them because they say, I can give you Loratab. Oh, I think I had that last time. I don't think it worked very well. They gave me that something that started with a D. What is it? Dilaudid, right? I mean, that's usually what we were doing, was trying to work them for, whatever we could get. And When you go in and see a doctor this time and you say to him, look, I just want to get off of all of this stuff. But now that I'm clean, and I've been clean about 8 days, my heart is racing and I'm getting like what feels like panic attacks. And what they do is they give you something that is non-narcotic, right? Again, I don't want to say the name of it because then someone will take it and they'll say Tommy was, but it's a medication that just slows down your heart rate a little bit. And you're still going to go through the emotional stuff because this is not a psychotropic, right? There's no active ingredients in this at all. But when the panic attack starts to come on, your heart isn't going to start racing the same way. And here's something else to think about, please. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I promise you this makes sense. Your brain runs the body, right? But it doesn't have eyes. It might not make any sense, but it doesn't, right? Your eyes are attached. Your brain interprets things. Very oftentimes, when we start going into something like a panic attack, I've got bipolar as well. I had to stop taking medication because I got addicted to them. I get that. I really do. When you start feeling these panic attacks coming on, right? It is the same process going on in your brain as if you were being chased by a bear. Literally, right? So inside your brain, all of this stuff is going on, right? And you're going into panic mode, and what happens? You start breathing like you're really freaking out, right? When you hear somebody say, listen, when you start getting into a panic attack, count to 10. Try to control your breathing. You know why we're doing that? Because if you were getting chased by a bear, you would never stop in your tracks, right? And go 1, 2. You're telling your brain, hey, back off. Nothing bad is happening here. There's no reason to send chemicals down to save me. I'm not in panic. I'm not in fight or flight or any of that stuff. Breathing pretty hard and shaking like a leaf. Right. I mean, but all of these things, when your breathing starts to go that way and all of those things start happening, your brain begins to think you're in fight or flight. And it's that same feeling. It's like right before you get into one, right? You start getting that panicky feeling. If you slow down and you take a couple of deep breaths, nobody ever slowed down while running away from somebody. Nobody ever stopped to take 10 deep breaths. And the part of your brain that is sending the freak out chemicals will go, oh, well, we're obviously not in a fist fight because dude's counting to 10. I mean, I'm giving this in a very simplistic way, but you do understand what I'm saying, right? Do some breath work and calm down. It helps. And Doug's right. I mean, there's no question. You absolutely can. And is it going to throw a light switch and make everything perfect? It's not. But it's going to knock the edge off of that feeling that you got. So when you start feeling that come on, the reason that they say things like instantly start to control your breathing, because you're telling your brain, which doesn't have eyes, truthfully, even though these babies are connected, the part of your brain that's sending those chemicals down thinks something else is going on, right? So you're going to send a message to that part of your brain. And the message you're going to send is, we're good, right? We're good. I'm not running. I'm not scared. Niall says, see, it pops up on this screen first, and then it goes over to this one because of the delay, and it takes a minute. Here we go. Panic attacks and anxiety do not come out of nowhere. For addicts, some of it is guilt about the past, and some of it is about fear of the future. Absolutely, Niall, I agree with you. But in the very beginning, in the first couple of weeks, it's hard to interpret what those are. And it's probably one or the other, or maybe even a combination of the two, or even a third. But regardless of what's bringing that on, especially in the beginning when you're not accustomed to this kind of stuff, if you can control your breathing and you can calm yourself down, right? When you're panicking and running, which is the same kind of a phenomenon that's going on in the brain, right? So nobody ever stopped in the middle of running away from a bear, right? To chill out and take a deep breath. So you're going to send a message to your brain going, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Deep breaths do a lot. Also, if you're drinking, take a lot of B vitamins. Nutritional yeast, magnesium, water, and fruit. The alcohol messes up your sugars and insulin response. There is a lot that alcohol screws up in your body. Make no mistake, he's right. There is a lot that gets screwed up there. Hey, Space Jeezel, what's happening, my friend? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. So people, and again, I like what you said about not wanting to go to, hey, you're late, but you're here. Better late than never. I'm glad you're here. And if you'd gotten here any earlier, you just would have had to hop off of that boat onto another boat. Been having a little problems with the internet here, so you came at perfect timing. Yep, absolutely perfect timing. So, Lewis, I like what you said about doctors, right? I got an addictive personality. I don't want to go to the doctor and start getting pills. Love that. I really do. That's self-awareness. That's a beautiful thing, especially at this part of your, of your recovery. Early on, that kind of stuff can save your life versus just swapping out one addiction for another. Was addicted to alcohol. Also stopped same time as I stopped coke. Oh, God. You should have stopped cursing, being mean, writing with your right hand. That's a tall order, brother. It really is. God bless you. There's a lot going on there. The first 14 days of being off alcohol, you're not leveled out on your brain chemistry yet at all. Same with cocaine. So you got so much going on in your brain, brother. In a perfect world, you really should have been talking to a doctor. And if you're crazy like most of us addicts tend to be, start taking cold showers after the breath work. You know what? He's right. That will shock your system, and it does some beautiful things. A really serious dose of cold water very oftentimes releases a bunch of endorphins because your body gets sort of that shock thing. Water therapy is excellent for helping to manage anxiety. I agree with you. Couldn't agree more. I just don't want to promote it anymore. If you're really trying, the last thing you need is it rubbed in your face. I'm not exactly sure what I missed on that one. But I agree with you. One of the things about the boat, we're in agreement. The last thing anyone needs is anything rubbed in their face. And we really try to make sure that just does not happen here. So God bless you. Appreciate that. But deep breathing exercises. There's a lot going on in your life, brother. There really is. The first 14 days off of alcohol, it takes that long before your brain chemistry begins. And I don't mean you're going to be right as rain in 14 days because you're not. But it takes about 14 days for things to start mellowing out in that. You're also going to be going through the same kind of thing with the blow. So to endure both of those at the same time, am I about to drop again? People, am I buffering? Oh, man. I really hope that this does not drop again, because if it does, a take 3 would be a first, and I don't want to see that happen. We are getting fairly close to the top of the hour. Please, Lewis Clark, reach out to me. Reach out to my bobbleheaded partner, one of us, both of us. Send us an email, and we can shoot back a little bit of info on some of the things that I'm talking about here. Thank you, Leisure. Appreciate you. Thank you, Major. No, Tommy, not buffering. It's weird because I've got 3 things set up here now, right? I'm like Captain Kirk here now. I'm determined to do it without doctors. Will be my biggest achievement in life. One way or another, brother, it's going to be your biggest achievement in life. Make no mistake. This is going to be your biggest achievement in life. People, if I win the Nobel Peace Prize and an Academy Award, a Grammy, an Emmy, and the lottery, getting sober is still going to be the crowning achievement of my life. And I think that most addicts probably feel the same way, because everything else that comes, on that. On this boat, all we got to know is that we are all here for anyone who needs it. No matter what you are going through, we will be here to help you out in any situation, or we can send help. God bless you, Jesse. And that from, what did you call yourself? A filthy heathen atheist? Pretty impressive stuff, Jesse. I like it. I really do. God bless you, man. Or bless you, or any... Jesse, you're the best. You really are. Douglas D says, problem for me is I've researched so much of how to come off alcohol myself that I'm in a vicious cycle of quitting for a while and then I go back to it again. I had a friend that used to say, we take vacations, right? Because when people used to say to me all the time, once I finally got off of heroin, they would say to me, well, how many times did you quit before, you finally got sober? Once. I took a crap load of vacations. I had a lot of failed efforts. But I think the definition of quitting is not doing something ever again, right? So but I know exactly what you're saying. And I was kind of that cat, except I researched the hell out of drugs. I just didn't try to quit. But I used to amass all kinds of knowledge about it. It was almost like I was getting ready for it. Here for anyone on this boat that needs me also. Lewis, I think you've proven that since the first day you got here. If you're not Tabor, brother, I get 3 tall boys. 3 tall boys, get myself together first of all, and then start watering it down and only drinking enough to take the DTs away. Well, you're definitely better off. Not obviously, we do not ever advocate anybody quitting cold turkey. I mean, unless you come on here and you say to me, I drink a 40 ouncer every couple of days and I'm thinking of quitting. Well, go ahead and quit. But if you're somebody that's taking an awful lot of booze, we definitely don't want you to do that. It's a cycle you may take a few times. Oh, major. I did it for leisure. I love you. Love this boat too, man, for real. I did it for, I can't tell you how long, but I never really, I don't know. I would kick and I would make it a couple of weeks. Once with methadone, I made it for like a year, maybe a year and a half. But I never really put an effort out until I just heard on the news Smoking Kit had some, that they were handing out smoking kits with crack pipes in them. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, but yeah. Good night, cultivate kindness. Addiction is like starvation. We go right to the death. We insist that we can beat starvation. I like that now. It's pretty good stuff. It's actually kind of dangerous to do it that way. But you don't have access to medical, or you don't want it to be in the ICU. It works. Well, here's the thing, L.S.D. Years ago, that's how the guys at AA did it. They kept a bottle of gin underneath the sink. Guys would come in with the DTs and they'd give them a few shots, and then they would talk to them about sobriety. Talk about the guts those guys had to be able to do that, to just pull that bottle out and hand it to somebody and have it in front of you like that. I mean, if I had to help you people and I would have to give you a little heroin in order to do it, trust me, people, I couldn't do this job. I would not be able to do that. My heart has calmed down a lot. Now, thank you, Tommy, and everyone. You know what? I will say, hey, you're welcome, but I think more of that was with the people around you in the boat than it was me. I believe that. Daryl Calhoun, Lifeboat. I'm sorry I misspoke last night. No harm, no foul, brother. In fact, it sounds to me like we're brothers in a lot of ways, right? So I'm not tripping. I know that, no harm, no foul, man. Glad you're here, really. Truthfully, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. All right, people, we're at the top of the hour. Had to do this and jump from one boat to the other there for a minute. But we got through it. See what happens when my bobbleheaded partner isn't here? Just awful. But we will be back 23 hours from right now. We'll be doing this again, right? Same bat time, same bat channel, doing the same bat thing. Between now and then, people, I want you to reach out and try to save somebody, all right? And to Lewis and to Douglas and to all of you, man, everybody fighting the good fight, I'm proud of you. Between now and tomorrow, reach out and try to save somebody. And if that somebody is yourself, try a little bit harder. It's getting to be pretty dangerous stuff out there, people. It really is. Oh, and of course, this right here is a cat in a basket. Pretty cute one, too, isn't she? All right. Good night, everybody. We love you. Catch you on the boat.